On this channel, there are many good days, but on the rare occasion, there's some great days. Today, we're getting the opportunity to take a look at the all-new Mercedes Benz AMG GT. I want to give a huge shout and thank you to Mercedes Benz of Westwood in Westwood, Massachusetts for inviting me down here to check out this grand tour. Now, since this won't be a typical review like we normally do on this channel, instead, we're going to analyze this model. This is the 55, which slots beneath the 63. And it might be the best pick in the product line for the GT. Now you're probably going to say, Mike, what are you talking about? You got to go with the 63. You got to go with the better engine. But do you really? Because with the 55, you still get the V8, you get over 460 horsepower, and you're spending around $150,000. In this video, we're going to take a look at what makes the 55 a great option if you are looking at buying a Grand Tour in 2024, and also see why this might be a great value in the exotic and sports car market. Now, before we dive into this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you're notified every time a new video goes live on the channel. Now, if you're ready, then I'm ready. Let's turn on this GT and see what it sounds like. In the Grand Tour and supercar market, car collectors and enthusiasts are typically drawn to the best engine available with the highest output in regards to horsepower and pound-feet of torque. On the rare occasion, you'll have that one car like the BMW E39 540i or a first-generation Audi R8 with a V8 that through time become highly coveted. But for the most part, the all-new AMG GT initially will be desired with the 63, as opposed to the 55 and soon to be arriving 43. What makes the 55 rather compelling is that it's powered by the same 4-liter twin-turbo V8 engine that can be found in the 63, producing 469 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. And this powertrain is paired with a 9-speed automatic transmission. For reasons that we'll get into later on, this potentially is the sweet spot for the GT, as shoppers who are trying to stray away from the $200,000 mark are still receiving a potent engine, and for the fickle purists, the GT55 is still a true AMG product. Your 0 to 60 time will come in at 3.8 seconds, whereas the 63's 577 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque will propel you to highway speeds in 3.1 seconds. Obviously, for those chasing lap times and power figures, you may completely dismiss the 55. But in reality, for a Grand Tour in 2024, this is still a very respectable alternative for a first-time buyer to the platform and nameplate. Where Mercedes-Benz hit it out of the park for 2024 is with the road presence, as they retain the style and muscular look from the prior generation, while simultaneously repurposing the GT into being a Porsche 911 fighter rather than solely designed for track use or taking on an exotic car market that doesn't quite fit the persona of this car. Starting up front, but is noticeable throughout, is the smoother body lines, similar to what we're seeing from the rest of the product line. The rounder and more pronounced headlight housings that mirror the shape of the bumper and fenders immediately adds an aerodynamic and streamlined appearance, matching Mercedes-Benz's signature grille, curved hood, and functional side air curtains. This GT is also equipped with a $1,300 night package, providing gloss black accents that contrast very well with the silver paint color. This package makes its presence known as we move over to the side profile as well, with the gloss black side mirror caps and trim around the windows. This GT is sitting on the $3,300 21-inch AMG multi-spoke wheels, further adding to the aggressive silhouette. But as you make your way around to the final third, this is where Mercedes Benz may have taken some risks, but also deviated a bit from this generation's predecessor. The C-pillar design is very Porsche-like, and we could go into further detail into how the GT takes many cosmetic elements from rivals in this segment. However, Mercedes' gamble to entrench the GT into the conversation with other road-going Grand Tours could pay immediate dividends in a market that leans heavily towards the 911. Besides the retractable wing, the most underrated aspect about the rear fascia are the taillights, as the housings are unconventional, with everything except the lights themselves being exposed to the open air, which molds seamlessly into the body. The gloss black rear diffuser and quad exhaust tips finish off this stunning car. But for current GT owners, the more pronounced C-pillar to help accommodate two seats behind the driver and passenger will likely be what stands out the most. As much as we can rave about the performance or exterior design, this 2024 AMG GT is as lavish and upscale inside as aggressive and muscular outside. Taking a glance into the cockpit, for this model, we're greeted by power-adjustable, heated, ventilated, and massaging Napa leather truffle brown seats for both the driver and passenger. And what really draws attention is how high quality the interior is. For a car that is equipped to hit the track, the driving environment and dashboard layout will suit the driver who frequently cruises the coastline or partakes in spirited drives on some winding back roads. As capable as a GT is, you'll be comfortable and relaxed when approaching sharper bends in the road. Taking another step forward from last generation is the technology, as the full digital gauge cluster and head-up display provide a modern and futuristic experience, with both displays being fully customizable with a handful of different layouts at your disposal. Then quickly taking a look at the infotainment system, the Mercedes-Benz user experience that can be found in many vehicles in the product line has been integrated into the dashboard for the GT. If you currently own a newer Mercedes, you'll easily get acclimated to this screen. However, physical buttons have been kept to a minimum, as you've experienced numerous times throughout the last few years. You'll have a variety of menus to choose from and scroll through, which may come at the expense of a learning curve. However, thanks to the way in which the interior wraps around you, everything will be within arm's reach of the driver, offering a user-friendly experience and fighter jet-like cockpit. Creating some controversy from current GT owners is that the 2024 model now offers 2 additional seats in the rear, which even Mercedes-Benz admits is only useful for smaller passengers, but may provide an increase in storage space where you will have seats that safely keep your luggage in place. To the delight of some, this is optional, as our GT is only a 2-seater, and judging by the amount of room, you can store a decent amount of groceries, but it gets even better for this car. Adding on to the fact that you can go with a 4-seater configuration with the AMG GT, it's also very practical. Now, Mercedes-Benz raced this coupe at around 12.7 cubic feet of room, which doesn't sound like a whole heck of a lot, but in reality, this is very spacious. I will fit all my camera gear today, no problem. So that's 3 bags of camera gear, a gimbal, and a tripod, and I still have more space for maybe a travel case. So if you are going on a road trip with a significant other, or maybe you're going on a rally or 2 this summer, you can have all your gear back here and your passenger's gear and still have maybe a bit more space for some other carry-on cases. And that's what makes a Grand Tour daily drivable. It makes it usable, where a lot of sports cars, a lot of exotics, you can't say the same for. So the fact that you can squeeze in small children in the second row if you go with a 4-seater, or if it's just gonna be a car for you and your significant other, it's a great choice. And that to me is what makes this generation really good, but also in a way versatile. And that is something that we don't typically see in this market. Now you're probably wondering, what is this all going to cost you? And this is where the 55 could almost be seen as a bargain in the Grand Tour market, with all things considered. as the base cost is just under $135,000. Factoring in the optional equipment on this model, the grand total comes in at $151,000, which is roughly $26,000 less than where the GT63 begins. Performance for the price, the overall design, driving environment, technology, and the luxurious aspects that makes up this car could very well draw your attention away from rivals. And while there may be onlookers shaming you for not maxing out for the 63, this particular trim could very well be the pick from Mercedes Benz, but also for shoppers who desire the sound and soul of the V8 without having to spend close to $200,000 to have this Grand Tour in their garage. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. Also, let me know in the comment section below what you think about this new AMG GT. But once again, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time.